Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Zodha. I would just like to take a minute and introduce ourselves. Zodha is a sacred space that we have curated specially for people like you and us to help them on their healing journeys. It is a second family carefully designed to help you with your healing in a more compassionate way. At Zodha, we deal with modalities like past life regression, neuro linguistic programming, and many more. Without further ado, I just wanted to appreciate and acknowledge all of you. I understand it takes a lot of courage to put out your questions and concerns in an open forum, but you took a first step and shared your genuine concerns. Uh, at Zodha, Nirmann is equally committed to help all of you in answering your questions. And we together as a team, we are there today to answer all the questions that you've shared with us. So, yes, let's get started and welcome, Nirman. Over to you.
Thank you, Dhruti. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for so many questions that poured in. Dhruti, I think there were more than 100, I believe.
Yeah, close to 100 questions.
Okay, let's begin then.
So we have our first question from Rucha.
Okay.
Rucha asks, how do we know if this is our first life or we have born before? And she has also asked a follow-up question that if we are born with anxiety, how we can fix it?
Okay. So two questions really. Hi,
Yes.
Rucha. Great question. And it's a question that has, of course, intrigued people around the world for centuries. And you probably would know that there are religions that believe in reincarnation, um, including the religions that were born out of the East, India, and the Southeast Asia subcontinent. And there are religions that believe that life is a one-shot adventure. So there is no reincarnation. It's just you come once, and that's pretty much it. So it's a debatable question if you want to answer it by logic or even by statistics. So what I would suggest, Rucha, is that you have to look deep inside and really go with how you feel about this. When you look at your experience of life, do you think that there is something unique about you? If you feel that there is a continuity and it's not like you're just here feeling like a stranger, if you've had the deja vu moments, for example, and if you feel strongly called to lead a certain kind of life, then you would know that you're not a stranger here, right? So things of intuitions, familiarity, deja vu, these are indications that you are you've been here before. Also, I would say that not all people, if you look around, are at the same level of consciousness, right? If this was a single short life, then you will see that everybody who is in your generation or born around you, your time, similar age, then they would feel exactly the same way. Their consciousness level would be pretty much similar because they are coming here for the first time. But that's not true, right? You know that your consciousness level would be very different compared to some of your similar age group people. And that's a proof by itself that people are at different levels of consciousness based on how much lessons they have learned in their past lives and where they're starting this life. So that's my suggestion. I personally, of course, I believe that we are old souls, and we are, spiritual beings having a human experience, as opposed to, human beings having a spiritual experience, right? So, um, and I would suggest that when you do the past life regression with me on Sunday, you will see, you'll get a glimpse of your soul's journey. Okay, so fantastic question. Second question was around anxiety. Dhruti, what exactly was how to deal with anxiety?
So the question is, if we are born with anxiety, how can we fix it?
Yeah, I would rephrase it, Rucha, that we are not born with anxiety. We are born with certain, I would say, questions in our mind, which don't appear as questions, because when we are young and kids, obviously we don't think about uh, that there is a question. We just feel restless. That's how I felt as a kid. And we feel that there is something missing, and we can't really put our finger on what's missing. So, um, so I would just like you to rephrase this, that we are not born with anxiety. However, that said, it is true that we do have our ancestors' DNA very much in our body, and it's not just our physical appearance, like how we look, the color of our eyes, or the color of our hair, or a body structure. There are also there's also in our DNA, besides just the physical attributes of our ancestors, there is also their emotions, and their psychological makeup that we inherit. So as soon as we are able to have enough, I would say, consciousness or enough intelligence when we grow up and we are a certain age, and we start to understand these things, you will start noticing that there are certain predominant emotions that don't seem to have a logical basis to them. So you said born with anxiety. So from the soul side, there are more purpose related, uh, kind of, where certain lessons that we have come here to learn, certain experiences that we have come here to on the earth, and most of them are positive, like kindness and love, to experience those. But from our ancestors, at the same time, from our DNA, we have inherited traits, emotional traits, psychological traits. So just understand that that's what is coming as making you feel, down and under or sad. And we'll get into much more detail on Sunday when I'll explain this concept. Okay, so and that actually makes it addressable, that yes, knowing that this is not yours, knowing that you have inherited it, now something can be done about it. So that's the great news. So fantastic questions, Rucha. All right, Dhruti,
Moving
that was
on to our next question. It's from Phoenix.
hmm.
He says, would love to know, how does past life regression help to resolve the past karma? And as a follow-up message, he had also written that too emotional right now. I can cry at the drop of a pin. Can I fix this?
Yeah, yeah. I love this name, Phoenix. It's just such a strong bird, And let me show you my book. When I wrote my book, you see this in the back cover of my book is Garuda, right, or Phoenix. Such a strong symbol of transformation. So Phoenix, yes, past life regression. What past life regression does is it allows you to access the domain of your soul. So I want to tell all of you that Phoenix's question is not is very deep question, because past life regression is the only way where you can access the dimension of your soul. Well, that's not totally accurate. Yeah, you can, the meditators or the who have been meditating for decades, and they have the ability to go beyond mind and enter the space of no mind. They can access the dimension of soul, which has nothing to do with your mind. So it's a misconception, it's a myth that the memory of your soul, like soul is sitting in your brain. It's not true. In your brain, in your mind, there are only memories of your childhood, which is the conscious and subconscious, mind, or the unconscious mind, which has the memories and of your ancestral DNA. That's the science of epigenetics. So the karmic debris or the karmic darkness, that you have to heal. First of all, you need to understand where that is coming from, and that's why regression is so important. Because through regression, you can bypass the faculty of your mind, and be able to access your soul. Okay. And the thing that you said, that you can cry at the drop of a pin, I think that's a sign of a very beautiful soft heart. And it's a sensitive heart, which means it's very alive and is beautiful. However, if something is hurting you deeply, which is causing you discomfort, then I would like you to go into the regression with that intention of how you can find the root of this pain, which gets triggered, and you can cry. So, Phoenix, I want you to know that you are at the right place. And on Sunday, when we do actually the regression, then you'll be able to access the memories which are not from this lifetime, which will give you a clue of what happened and what needs to be resolved in this life. Okay. All right, Dhruti. Next question, please.
So Prem is asking, how do you know the purpose of life?
Prem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Prem, what a wonderful question. I love your name as well. Prem means love. And how do you know the purpose of your life? Such a good question. I think I saw when I was slightly going through the questions, I saw that there were so many questions about purpose. And I really love that, because that is what took me to past life regression. And I was working with Dr. Brian Weiss, and as his one of his students, and we were talking about how purpose cannot be just found by thinking. Because of if by thinking, we could find the purpose, then so many smart and intelligent people who could have logically found it. But the reason is that you just cannot think hard enough, because it's not the faculty of mind where the clues of your purpose and living a purposeful life that resides. So it doesn't reside in the domain of your mind. So to find your purpose, you have to bypass your mind and be able to access the dimension or the realm of your soul. And that's where you'll find the clues. Okay, Prem. So hopefully on Sunday, you might have a breakthrough.
Awesome. Now Karthik asks, can this solve problems with addictions?
Karthik, I would answer this in this way, that look, addictions sometimes, and I'm not an expert in addictions, but here is what I'll say. Sometimes addictions just happen because you are experimenting with certain drugs or alcohol or things. Addiction could also be of anything. But what I would say is, if the root of your addiction is coming from a deeper pain and you're trying to overcome it, because you cannot find the answer of that pain through your mind, and nobody can answer it. So I suspect that the source of um, the root of the reason why somebody, uh, you know, um, somebody goes towards drugs or something addictive is to forget themselves, to forget this pain. And if the root cause of this pain is lying beyond this lifetime, then of course regression can help. But there are some cases where people are just happy and there is no problem. They have a lot of money and they have a lot of time and they're just bored and they're experimenting with different things, and they the pleasure from those activities can get addictive. So in that case regression will not help you if that's the case. But if addiction has come out of a much deeper hurt which you are not able to resolve through advice from friends or thinking about it or seeking therapy, and then you are resorting to deeper solutions like which can just put your mind to rest, and addiction is coming from that, then I would absolutely say that yes, regression can help you find the root of that pain. And just in finding that root, becoming aware of that root, lies the solution. The awareness itself will give you a choice, because now you will know, aha, this is where it's coming from. It's not coming from my reality in this life, but the root of this pain, the root of this uncertainty, or whatever it is that's bothering you is coming from a past life. Okay. So again, I welcome you on Sunday when we meet at 11 a.m. and we'll get into regression, and then you will experience it yourself. So hopefully it'll help you. Okay, Dhruti?
Yes. And moving on to our next question, Jasmine is asking, I'm facing money issues since past few months.
Hmm.
How to resolve that?
Jasmine, it's a common question that we get. It could be relationships, it could be money problems. However, you said just from the past few months. So if it's something which is a pattern in your life, whether you are attracting same kind of relationships or you are attracting same kind of money problems, so it's not situational in nature. So it's not like something happened, you lost a job, or there was a business loss. Those are circumstantial issues. If it's not that, because circumstantial issues once the circumstance is addressed, the problem will go away. What I mean by that is, if say you lost a job, for example, you just take another job and that's the end of your problem. But if you see there's a pattern that's getting repeated in your life, that you are always getting stuck with money problems, then maybe there is a deeper reason behind this pattern, which you'll have to get into through past life regression. So in past life regression you will come up with um, what happened in the past life. Were there some deep issues with the way you handled money in the past life, or something happened that you lost all the money, and that created a very different relationship with money. Or maybe you had so much money that you don't really care so much about money. So remember that uh, when you are intentional about something, you give it energy, and when you give it energy, then it gets attracted to you. So if money was, let's say, not important to you in your past life, then it's chances are you're not giving it any energy in this life, or you're not giving it importance, even though from your question that doesn't appear to be the case. So what you have to do is, through regression, find out what happened, and you have to go into regression with this intention that I'm going to find out what had happened related to money in my past life, that I'm repeating a certain pattern. So your soul will whisper to you, and the answers will be revealed to you, right? Nobody else can answer this for you, not me, not any other therapist. If somebody is saying they can answer you, well, be careful, because nobody else besides you can access your soul. There are a lot of myths that other people saying, oh, I can access your soul. Nobody can access your soul. Not me, not your parents, not your siblings, nobody, not Dr. Brian Weiss, not nobody, So the reality, the fact of the matter is that soul is a dimension that only you can access, your higher self, your soul. But there are these means, there are these ways to access it. So once you access it, the answers will be revealed to you. Okay. So hope that helps, Jasmine. All the best, and I'll hope to see you on Sunday.
Awesome. Moving on to our next question. VJR is asking, hi there, what are my goals for exploring past life regression?
Yeah, Vijay, that's a good question. I would put it back to you. I think your question is more, what can I expect uh, out of past life regression, right? See, people come with uh, uh, different intentions. Mine was purpose, but I know that uh, soul can also show you what is missing in your life, this life. So, for example, if you're looking for let's say there is a certain gap that you feel in your life, it could be a certain feeling, let's say, of love and intimacy that is missing, and you just can't seem to fulfill it. Maybe there is a deeper answer that you'll get from your soul. Or like Jasmine asked, that I'm facing financial issues. So if there's a pattern in your career that you are inviting only certain kind of bosses or certain kind of situations at your career, then where does your soul want to take you? And I bet that that's a different direction. Or if you're inviting or attracting same kind of people with just different names and different faces, and there's a certain pattern to your relationships, then you would want to ask, what's going on here? Why is this happening? And the answers will come from past life. So it could be a variety of reasons why people approach past life regression. Because here's the thing, past life regression is about accessing your higher self and asking, why did I decide to be born on this planet? What is the reason that I chose to be born here and get the experience of this life? Knowing that you're not an accident, it's not a coincidence, it's not a chance that, we all decided to be born on this planet at a certain time, at a certain place, with certain people. We needed to heal ourselves. So, what happened that healing needs to happen? Right. So there's all this a wide variety of reasons, a wide variety of questions that people come to past life regression for. I would invite you to consider or ask yourself, what is missing in my life? What is the gap that I feel? And I think once you ask this question, you will know that, okay, what's the biggest um, kind of reason for feeling restlessness or something is missing in my life? Is it I miss love? Am I missing intimacy? Am I missing a peace in my life? Am I, there's a lot of trauma coming from somewhere. So you have to get to the root of it, and that's kind of the intention or the goal, or question you should be asking yourself. And your soul will reveal it to you. So let's say you may not even know what's my question. Then just go into past life regression with an open mind and just allow your soul to talk to you. And you just listen. You just stay surrendered and in an open and welcoming mindset, because you'll be aware, you'll be alert. It's not like you'll become unconscious or anything. You'll all be very alert and very aware. You'll just be in a deep state of relaxation. And then whatever soul has to say to you, you just listen. Okay? I hope that answers your question. Yes, Ruti?
Yes. Moving on, we have another question from Shachi.
Hmm.
She's asking, how can I resolve past life problems and guidance for living this life uh, peacefully, happily? Please guide.
Wonderful question. That's Shuchi?
Shachi.
Shachi. Okay, thank you. Shachi, that's such a good question. Um, we come in this life to learn lessons, right? To get experiences from this life. So, what was missing or what remained unfulfilled or unfinished in the past life, which has to be finished in this life, that's the answer you will get from the regression, right? So once you get this answer, and I'm not saying you'll get it immediately, it's not magic, right? But you start getting clues. And as you repeat this process, because your soul will immediately, um, show you the way. But you have to go through this process sometimes a few times to connect the dots, and you say, okay, I didn't see much in the first regression, but second time you do it, you'll say, aha, I got this, and you connect the dots. Okay, so it's not so much about fixing the past life. The way to fix the soul imprints that you're carrying in this life, which is coming from the past life, is how you lead your life in this life, which will heal those imprints. Okay. Now, this understanding, this knowledge that what remained unfulfilled will come through past life regression. As I always say, you cannot think about it because it's not the faculty of mind. In your mind are stored only memories of this lifetime. Your soul is a totally different dimension. You can access it through this receiver and transmitter, through this mind, but the information is sitting in your higher self, is sitting in your soul, and your soul is not sitting inside your brain. This brain is a part of this physical body, just like heart or lungs or hands or feet are, right? Which will go one day. But what will never go, never born, never died, is your soul. So the answers are in your soul, and to be able to access your soul, you have to bypass the mind. And how do you bypass the mind? Through past life regression process. Okay. So that's how, once you understand, the moment you become aware that this is what happened in my past life, this is what remained undone, and then suddenly you will know what to do in this life, what kind of a lifestyle you have to lead, what kind of a life your soul is yearning or longing to lead. Okay, very good question. I'm sure this question will help many people, so thank you for asking this question. Yes, Ruti?
Yes.
Am I answering in too much detail? I don't think I'll be able to finish hundreds of questions if I keep answering in so much detail. So, but yeah, I'll try to give briefer answers. But go ahead, Dhruti.
Yes. Our next question is from Shashwat. Shashwat is asking, I have experienced deja vu a lot of times in life.
Hmm. Oh, that is there a question or
I think so.
okay? Okay, so that's the comment, is it?
Yeah, that's the comment.
Okay, good. No,
Does
no.
it have any significance?
Yeah, Shashwat, of course. I mean, I think you, as I think I mentioned that in one of the previous questions, that we are old souls, never born, never died. We just kind of coming here, and Earth is not the only school in this world. There are many other schools, many other galaxies and universes, and Earth is a fantastic school, and our soul comes here um, to uh, get some experiences, to get some lessons. So the deja vu is a wonderful indication that, oh, I have been here before, right? You must have heard of those instances when a child who is barely able to speak starts sharing what had happened and where they were born. All these things, those are just examples of deja vu or of past life reincarnations. Dr. Brian Weiss talks about it in his book, Many Lives, Many Masters, especially one of his students, Catherine, from where this whole journey of past life regression started for him. So yeah, deja vu is absolutely an indication of that we have been here before, and we have come here again to finish what was left undone, so we can move on to the next shore and continue this beautiful sacred journey of our soul. Okay, Thruti?
Yes. Moving on to our next question, Shruti is asking, I'm unable to get over someone when they don't even value me. Is there a way?
Yeah, Shruti, unfortunately, this happens that people don't value us. And it's just how uh, people are. If you just see the fact that in our society, um, it's a very transactional world, and people have kind of this layer, a veil in front of their eyes of ignorance about their true nature. Our true nature, the true nature of our soul, is that of love, kindness, compassion, non-violence, giving, honoring each other. But I would even say that a lot of people are not even aware that they are actually, we are really a soul um, having a physical experience. So if somebody is not valuing you, um, I think um, you need to find someone who would. And the way to find that person, sometimes people call them soulmates. What I would say is that once you start operating from a higher level of vibration, which is the true nature of your higher self or your soul, which is essentially the frequency of love and compassion and kindness, which is our true nature, and you start operating from that vibration. And we teach that. I teach how to move to that vibration. What's the technique? Because it's not easy, because we are so used to operating in a day-to-day rut of our life. It just pulls us down. So to move to a higher vibration, like a lotus remains untouched from the dirt and the muck of the dirty water surrounding us. Um, if you start walking that path, that's where you'll meet somebody uh, who is not the usual pattern of kind of relationships you attract when you're operating in this kind of the level, the lower vibration where the society generally operates. And once you start operating from this higher level of vibration, which comes with a little bit of a practice, I would say, and it takes a little bit of shift. But once you get it, then you start operating your daily life from a higher level of vibration. And that's where you'll break the pattern of meeting people who don't value you, don't respect you. And that's where you'll attract uh, a genuine, authentic, true human being who will just love you and value you for who you really are. Okay. So don't worry. When we do this work, you'll be able to, first of all, understand what's missing in your life. It seems like that a feeling of love is kind of missing in your case. And I welcome you to past life regression, where it'll get confirmed what happened in your past life, which is still a gap. And your soul is yearning for that level of intimacy and connection. Okay. So don't worry and just do the work, and you'll start to manifest and attract the right set of people in your life. Good question.
Awesome. Um, Now, Geeta has asked,
Mhm.
interested to learn about current suffering and fix it so that at least in next birth, I don't carry forward any regressions.
Yes, Geeta, absolutely. I honor your commitment, and that tells me volumes about that you are so ready for this work. Because just by understanding this, I think halfway is already done. Now you just need to understand the source of your sufferings, exactly what happened, and pinpoint why is your soul suffering, so that you can start healing it, so that you can start leading a life or creating a life. Listen, जीवन नियति नहीं निर्माण है. What that means is it's not predestined. It's a creative effort. So your highest creativity is to design a way of life where you can finish those sufferings, where you can find a way to heal yourself. So it takes a certain way to live, and by living that way, you'll start feeling blissful. And really, I would suggest one more thing that is a premise in what I teach in the Zodha way of thinking or Zodha way of life, is that you can never fight with darkness directly. So if there is suffering, your focus is not on suffering, but your focus is on creating bliss in life. And so finding ways what can create joy and bliss in my life, as opposed to saying, this is what my suffering is. How can I deal with this suffering? Because this hypothesis, this supposition that you cannot fight with darkness directly is the key. See, if there is darkness around us, let's say right now it's night, and it's almost what time is it right now, Dhruti?
8:38.
8:38 p.m., right? When you just submitted the questions, we are answering that. So it's nighttime now. It's all dark outside. Now, can you, if your room is dark, can you just fight with the darkness? How do you remove the darkness? You bring light. You turn on the light. Just like that, I would invite you to consider that creating a life, doing things, or leading a life which creates bliss in your life, which creates joy in your life, which creates happiness in your life, you get above the sufferings. So, of course, you will have to also minimize toxic people in your life, their influence on you. But don't worry if you cannot change certain things, which is honestly mostly the case, that we just don't get to choose some people in our lives we are born with, or somehow they end up in our lives. What you have to do is rise above like a lotus in a dirty pond, which I said earlier, and start living from the vibration of higher frequencies, which are of love and bliss. And how do you do that? By doing activities, by getting involved with the kind of work that brings bliss in your life, by associating with people. Like in this community, you see there are so many amazing people who are asking such wonderful questions. We in Zodha have a beautiful community of healers and light workers, people like yourself. So you get to meet them and you get to become friends with them. So associating with the right set of people, all of that, right, will start bringing light in your life. So that's how you do it. But you're at the right place. Once you do the past life regression, you at least get to know what had happened, why this suffering is coming in my life, what needs to be healed. Is it a particular gap? Is it a particular emotion that is dominant in my life? Is it that there was a lot of violence in your past life, so you need peace? Was there a lot of hurt and sadness in your past life, so you need love in this life? You see, so these things, love and peace, are the light that will light up the darkness in your life. Okay, so I hope that helps. Great question. Hi, Dhruti. Let's go with the next question.
Um, so now next question is from Shikha.
Hmm.
She's asking, can unresolved emotions or wounds from a past life still affect the nervous system and emotional responses in this life? Second question is, how does knowing about the past life help me with negative emotions in the present life?
Yeah, Shikha, such a great question. Essentially, you're asking the same question. Absolutely, answer is absolutely yes. See, it's so dominant, the soul. The second thing dominant is, you know what? The most dominant is soul, but you need to be sensitive to hear that voice because it whispers. So sometimes, we ignore it, but if you're sensitive and careful enough, you can hear it. But of course, in past life regression, it becomes loud and clear. The second most dominant effect of our, which affects our emotions, besides the wounds of the past life or what happened in the past life that we need to fulfill in this life, the karmic connections and, the soul contracts and all that. The second most dominant source of negative emotions is our ancestral um, imprint in our life. And that is something we inherited, no fault of ours. It's just thing to do with our bodies, right? So there's the soul imprint. Then to top it all is the body imprint, which is coming, the psychological makeup, the emotions that we have inherited from our ancestors. So sometimes, we even things like depression or too much anxiety jumps through generations and runs in our blood. So through the science of epigenetics, which tells us that even in the womb of our moms, of our parents, of our mother, the traumas of our ancestors, the emotional makeup of our mother at that time, they all affect us. They that sits in our deep unconscious memory. Okay, so that's the domain of this body. And I said that this brain, this mind is a part of the body. So this ancestral stuff, the parents' emotions and their traits sit in our subconscious and our deep subconscious, also called unconscious. So there is a soul memory which you can only access through past life regression. There is this deep unconscious which also you access through past life regression, and I'll talk more in more detail when we meet on Sunday. So you feel that where is this all coming from? This doesn't belong to me, and yet I'm suffering. What is the source of all this? So, just by doing past life regression and awareness, Shikha, of what had happened in my past life, and if not, nothing happened there, then knowing that, oh, I'm getting this trait from my ancestors, and just knowing that it's not yours, it doesn't belong to you, you can let go of it. You can say, I'm going to release, and it's a intentional declaration that I'm going to release this. It's not mine. Okay, so there are processes for doing that, and I'll teach all that. It's more detailed work. I don't know if on Sunday I'll have the time. We're just meeting on Sunday for 2 hours, but there's detailed work where we can absolutely release all this. Okay, so great question, Shikha, and thank you for asking this. So welcome, and on Sunday, when you experience this, you'll get to the source of your suffering. Okay.
Super. Manjula has asked, I have anxiety right from childhood and it's stopping me from achieving my dreams and ambitions.
Yeah.
Can past life regression help with this?
Yeah, absolutely, Manjula. Great question. So anxiety is. I was talking about the concept of darkness, right? So anxiety, sadness, depression also happens and keeps you stuck. where you cannot move beyond that. So in past life regression, suddenly you get an idea, what is my path? What was left undone? What happened that must be fulfilled in this life? Why did I come here? What were the things that couldn't be finished? What are some of those unfinished, unresolved um, emotions that need to be lived now in this life? For example, as I said, if it's anxiety, sadness, anxiety typically comes from a feeling of being stuck or a feeling of uncertainty, which is another word for stuck. That what will happen now? I things are not happening, and I'm all that overthinking. It starts to boil up. So you need to get in action, but you don't know what action to do. Through past life regression, what happens is you get an idea of the direction that you need to take. And the moment you understand this is the direction I need to take, oh, I'm stuck in a wrong environment, I'm stuck with the wrong set of people, I'm stuck with the wrong job, and I need to create a different kind of a life. So, what will that entail? It'll entail maybe a different job, maybe it'll entail a different relationship, a different environment. And all this starts to come now as signals from your soul. It's a beautiful process. And don't worry, you are exactly at the right modality, past life regression, done the right way with these concepts, because there are a lot of myths, honestly, wrong ways that some of the things that are being talked about past life regression is really myths. And I'm going to bust a lot of them when we meet on Sunday. But when you do past life regression work, you get to know what's the right path for me. What is the emotion, dominant emotion that will create light for me? So if it's anxiety, I invite you to consider getting in action, because anxiety comes also by this feeling of stuck, that you're not in action and you cannot, you're frozen. It's almost like there's a ceiling that's stopping you, right? So action in the right direction that is aligned with your soul purpose is the answer. And you will get it through past life regression. Okay. Great question. And thank you for asking it, because it then allows me to talk about this. Yes, Ruti, let's take next question.
Um, so this question is from MM. I don't have the full name here.
That's
Uh,
okay.
but the question is, I have always felt like I have a deeper purpose in this life, something meaningful I'm meant to do, but I haven't been able to find it. All I truly feel is this strong desire to help people, but I don't know how or where to
Mm.
begin.
Mm.
There's a constant sense of something missing, a feeling of being incomplete.
Mm.
How do I discover my true purpose of life?
Wow. I think we should highlight this question because it's such a wonderful question. And MM, thank you for asking this, because past life regression is the answer. And it's amazing that you're asking and you're aware that by helping people, you feel good, but you don't know how to help them. So, what is important is what you already know, that you want to help people. You can help people by being useful in so many ways. You don't need to do this work like I'm doing. Of course, it's in service of people. So you're being useful to your fellow human beings by doing the work that I do. But there are so many ways you can be useful and serve people and be useful and help people. You can even when people who are building our bridges, or construction workers who are doing the job and they're building our roads, see, they are in service as well. When you're doing a job in a company which is for the good of humanity, right? Of course, there are companies that are creating products which are not healthy for people, which are not life affirmative. Those, if you're supporting that, then obviously you're going against the direction of light. But if you're working in a company that's, let's say, creating a laptop like this, or creating a mic, or creating clothes, this is all being useful, right? Indirectly, but you are working towards that cause. Even when you are in politics, then you are trying to work for the people. Now, I think I say it with a little, tongue in the cheek, because sometimes it's, we don't have all the good people in politics. People come sometimes with different motives. But what I'm trying to say is there are so many avenues. Entertainment industry, you're making people laugh, you're helping them feel good. Artists, musicians, whatever makes people happy and blissful is really being useful, right? So find a way that calls you the most. This work that I do happens to be the work that I know the most at my level. Not that I know everything, but this is my favorite work. I feel blissful when I do this work, and this is how I'm being useful in my life. So you find, what are your talents? Where do you have the most passion about doing something? It's a little bit of creation process, a very creative process. And I would say that you sit down with a pen and paper and start writing what you enjoy the most. And by the way, when we do regression of childhood, and then we do regression of the womb, and then regression of the ancestors, it's a very detailed process that we do. But on Sunday, I'll give you a full idea of what we do, and you'll get to experience the past life regression. So I'm just so delighted with your question that the only way to find purpose is through past life regression, unless until you spend 30 years like I did, meditating and trying to go the very long route of accessing the soul. Past life regression is just such an amazing modality where through clinical hypnosis, you're able to bypass your mind, go in a very relaxed space, and you're very alert and very aware and very safe, and you get to access your soul. And then you're watching everything like you watch a movie, and you're aware, and then you write down at the end of it. So this is how you'll be able to find your answers. Great question, I think I can talk for hours on this topic, but we have limited time and there's still a lot of questions. Okay, Dhruti, this was such a good question. We should, I don't know, highlight or pin it.
Okay. Now I have another question, but we don't have the name, so I'll just read out the number. It's from 8928360932.
That's the phone number, I think.
Yes, and the person has asked, some people who come into our life and become so important and suddenly they disappear as passing clouds. Is it related to our past karma?
People come in our lives to teach us a lesson. You will see that with every relationship that you have, even if the experience was not so good, there is a certain lesson to be learned. Did you notice that sometimes when people break your heart and they go away and leave you all depressed and hurt, there's a lesson for you and you grow out of it, right? So what I would say is that we come on this planet to grow. So think about it like a school where we start from kindergarten to grade 1, grade 2, second, third, fourth class. Then we go to a middle school, then we go to high school, then we go to intermediate and then college. So this earth is like a school for our soul, where we go through different lifetimes and slowly we become more wiser and we gain more knowledge. That's why you see, if you look around you, you will see people at different levels in the journey. So it's not, I would say, we are all souls are all sacred, but the human experience is raising our consciousness through lives. So we are, some people can hurt you because they are not yet at a higher level in the school. So they can say things, they can act in a certain way, which is not very sensitive, and you can get hurt. But if they are authentic and their intentions are not bad, then it's okay. You can just forgive them and move on, and just know that they have taught you something, and you move on. So it's not really your fault, um, but it's a lesson that you needed to learn, and you just chose that, I can handle this lesson, I need to learn this lesson. Or sometimes even when we choose to be born in a certain family where you can say, Nirman, but I went through hell, my parents or my family was so abusive, things happened to me. Then the thing is that when we are deciding to take birth, um, we say that, okay, this I can handle because I need to learn some lessons. So we sign up for this, and sometimes it's a hard notion to swallow, but just understand, with thousands of and for 3 decades of doing this work and thousands of people with whom I worked, um, there is this consistent theme that we come here to learn our lessons, to go through these experiences, whether they are of the body or of the mind or of the heart. We can get hurt in our bodies, we can get hurt, in our heart, and yet we learn that, oh, we only hurt our body. But guess what? Our soul is sacred. Our heart is pure. So we can create a beautiful experience of our soul through bliss, through doing things that bring us bliss. Same way, if somebody has hurt you or you lost somebody, then there's a lesson to be learned. And you have to ask, what is the lesson that I needed to learn from this? And then don't repeat that same kind of relationship, and you move higher. Okay. So right now, we hear so much craziness going on in the world. These are all these first graders or kindergarten kids who are making all the noise and chaos and doing nasty things like terrorism and committing crimes. And we get to hear about them because we'll say, look at what these kids are doing. These are the people who are still on a class of different consciousness levels. They're still at lower levels of consciousness, so they are creating all this chaos, and nobody reports what the graduates are doing or people in the high school or higher classes are doing, because they are peaceful and they are wiser, and they know, the newspapers, the news channels don't report that. They only report what these kids, they're making the noise and they're doing violent stuff and creating wars. And it's unfortunate, and our leaders need to teach, their leaders need to teach them that more wisdom. But this is how this school is. They have to go through that, and we get to watch that these people still need to go through more lessons in life. So I think I went on a tangent here, but the point is that it's not your mistake. You're here, we are all here to grow and learn these lessons. Okay, I hope the point is clear.
All right. Let's move to our next question. Um, Harshita says, I've had tough times with marriage. My
Mm,
parents are forcing me to get married. I'm 32. Talks go on till marriage, but at last moment something happens. I've gone through depression because of this and lost my job. I've been looking out for a job. Kindly guide me and bless me. Should I get married?
mm,
If yes, how can I ensure that I'm ready for marriage and will make the marriage work till my end?
mm,
Will I get a new job or should I take up another stream? I was associated with an NGO. Should I return to them?
Hmm. Harshita, just sending you lots of love and blessings. And
Also, just before you start answering, I think there is a follow-up question also from Harshita.
hmm,
And she's asking, how can I learn about my past life and true purpose of this life? Can I become a counselor while I'm healing myself?
yes, yes. Wow. Harshita, thank you for asking these questions. Just sending you lots of love and blessings. Because I want you to follow the path of your soul's purpose. So don't miss this opportunity to do past life regression, where it will become very clear to you. Maybe not in the first chance, because not everyone. It's not a magic wand like Harry Potter's wand that you swish and abracadabra, or what was some of those Dhruti, Harry Potter and um, they used to say like the wand things.
Yeah, as in those magic spells.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was not abracadabra. I used to remember it, but I've forgotten. But um, yeah, I was trying to remember. So it's past life regression is not just a magic wand that you do it, and in one sitting the answers will come. And they can come if you have been practicing it. But even Dr. Brian Weiss took almost initially when he started took him 3 months because he was so left brained. Like I graduated from IIT Kharagpur, and I was very left brained, being very logical, very academic, and to let go of all that analytical habits, and trying to think and analyze everything comes in the way. So it might take a couple of sittings and a couple of sessions, but absolutely the answers lie in your past life. And once you receive the messages from your soul, you will follow the path of your bliss. So you said you were working for NGO, and it seemed to me, the way you said it, that you enjoyed that, and that seemed to be your path. Um, but that answer has to come from you, whether your soul feels blissful, because eventually the only the only way you understand whether this is the right path or not is whether you are enjoying it, whether you are really feeling blissful there or you're not. So maybe it's the direction of non-profit work, like Zodha is a non-profit, um, in service, mission oriented work. um, Maybe it's not that NGO, maybe it's some other NGO, maybe it's the space of healing, like you said, counseling. So wherever your soul feels fulfilled. Now it seems like getting married is not the right answer for you. You're still very young, you're still in your early 30s, so you don't have to rush, and you should never rush till you feel blissful. That doesn't seem to be the case for you. So I would just say hang in there, don't give in to the pressure, don't let anyone push you into a situation where you'll get stuck. And marriages are long term contracts, they are a big commitment, because guess what, after marriage comes more responsibilities. Maybe more lives will come in your life with your spouse. So there's a lot to think about. So if you're not ready, I would suggest that you go with the direction where you feel blissful, where your soul feels blissful. How do you know that? Through past life regression. So welcome to past life regression, and good luck for this Sunday session when we do it together. Dhruti, what's the time? I don't want this to go on and on and on. And looks like, are we past 1 hour? I don't have a watch, or I'm not keeping tab on time, but how are we doing?
We are past 1 hour. It's 9:05 right now. Um,
What should we do? Shall we just, are there any, how many questions are we done with so far?
close to 27.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry I'm going in so much detail. Um,
We have a lot of questions, and if
we have
you,
more than 100. I think we'll be sitting here all night. Uh,
yeah,
is it okay if I answer all the remaining questions? I promise I'll start writing, and maybe we can do another video, or I can just answer the questions on text. Today is what, Thursday, right? So we still have 2 more days, Friday and Saturday. So I'll try to spend time tomorrow and day after tomorrow and answer questions in the group by text, if that's okay with you all. A video, when it gets too long, you won't know where your answer is. But is that a good plan, Dhruti? Maybe I'll
uh,
just answer against each question and in text.
um, okay. How about we give 20 more minutes and just take like couple of more?
Sure. Let's do that.
Yeah. So Nikhil has asked, and you might want to keep it short and just answer them um on that question,
Some of
maybe.
these questions are honestly so deep and so insightful
Yeah.
that, and with our intention at Zodha to really serve you all as deeply as we can, I
Yeah.
tend to get into details, but I'll try to be short. I hope you won't mind those questions I'm answering now.
Okay. So Nikhil has asked, there's a person named Shania. We connected beautifully in the past, thought we never met. But the attraction was strong that I didn't feel that the attraction was strong that I didn't feel that even in a 10-year relationship. Now it's gone sour. I want to know what's the cause of the stuck energy between us.
Wow. See, connection, Nikhil and Shania. If I can say it for both of you, that if the connection was strong, and Nikhil, the way you say it, you had not felt this kind of connection even in something where you spent 10 years, just means that there is something as a connection here. Sometimes misunderstandings happen, and that's the feeling I'm getting without knowing the details of what happened. um, It'll be unfair for me to jump to any conclusion without knowing the details. But what it seems like is that there could be something beautiful between two of you that may happen. So I would just suggest that if it's possible to get in communication, then have an honest and open, authentic, egoless, non-judgmental communication, where you're not trying to say that who is right, who is wrong here, but just communicating how you feel, and also allowing Shania to express her side of the story. And, you know, for you to be right, other doesn't have to be wrong. So what happens is that what they said and what you the interpretation which you took could be two different things, or what you said and what Shania understood could be creating the problem. So it's very important to just have a communication if it's possible. So my without knowing the details, Nikhil, I would suggest getting communication. But I think your question also could be coming from, is there some sort of a past life connection here? Could this be a soul contract? And we don't know that, but it seems like there is something, some experience to be gotten for both of you. If it's so strong, and the connection is so strong, I would suggest that both of you should give it another try, get into a communication, and try to put the train back on track. Give it another chance. Okay, Nikhil? All the best.
Okay. Now, Madhu has asked, I think somewhere I'm halt in my past life. Whenever I start anything new in my life, business, job, or relationship, it's all gone in some years from my life, even if I work hard for that.
Hmm. Wow, what a good question, Madhu. My answer is an immediate yes. This happens because you're not doing the jobs that you like, and chances are the kind of relationships you're getting are not are coming from the kind of life you're leading right now, which is, of course, it is true that we can only be where we are. I would invite you to do the past life regression, understand what's your path, and then change your path to the path where what lessons you have come here for. Your soul has come here to experience a certain emotion, whether it's love or bliss, um, or peace or compassion. And if your current life experiences, it seems like it's not giving you that, then it's time to make changes. But only through past life regression will you know what is it that's missing. And once you know what's missing, what you need to do, what remain unfulfilled, um, you know, what remain, what was it that happened in the past lives, will you be able to create and design a new path for yourself. And in that path, everything will change. Why? Because you have changed. You have raised your vibration. So you're not the same Madhu anymore. That's Madhu 2.0, or a rebirth of Madhu. And in that, you'll completely attract a new set of people, new experiences, and then find a job which is aligned with that vibration. Okay? All right, Dhruti.
Yes. Now, Akanksha has asked how to awaken Kundalini Shakti. I'm not sure if that's relevant. But she also has asked a secondary question, which is how to get over the fear of loneliness. I'm 32 and I have had some traumatic experiences in my relationships. Now I'm very scared to trust anyone. I do long for a meaningful relationship, and because of that, I'm always finding myself with someone who is only there to take my advantage. I find myself as a giver always. I
Hmm.
want to find a way to find peace in solitude. Please show a way.
Yeah. Akansha, this is related. Kundalini and, the relationship issues are related. See,
Sorry,
Kundal.
sorry to interrupt. One last thing. She has also asked, past life regression can happen online. It's an intense activity. So how do we do it online?
Yeah. So, see, past life regression is done through commands, right? Uh, Anyways, your eyes will be closed because you'll go in a deep state of relaxation, right? So, even if you are sitting in front of me, the process is the same. You are uh, looking at me, you're listening to my voice like you are now, and I'm saying something to you. Actually, I prefer online a lot because you are in the safety of your own space as opposed to, my office. And the process is the same, right? So that's why I also get a question of how can we do it with a group, because you're not there's no group dynamics here. You are Each one of you is individually receiving the same command. So you are sitting in your room going through your regression experience. Somebody else is sitting in their space following the same commands, and their soul will whisper what it has to whisper to them. So each one of you will access your soul, which will speak to you, right? So I hope that answers the question on online. Now, Kundalini and this relationship is very connected. See, when you are excited and when you are on the path of your purpose, like I am, I'm excited, I'm doing what I love. I don't want to do anything else. This is all I love, and I'm being with you guys. being with loving souls, serving them, helping them, just like I was helped. There's nothing else that moves me more. And I do this, put all the hours I can because I love it. So, what's happening to my life force energy? Kundalini is just the reservoir of your pranic, of your life force energy, right? So, it'll get activated when you're following your purpose. It can also get activated when you are excited, let's say out of passion. That might happen if you, some relationship can be very exciting, but not at the level of your soul purpose. So they die and they end up with chaos, they end up with not so fun, and you're back to da, right? So, which is sort of your experience. So, what I would suggest is the reason you are ending up with wrong people is because you're not walking the path of your purpose. So, in PLR, you'll discover who I really am and why have I come here? What is my path? What is my purpose? And then you create a life that takes you in that direction. And in that direction, you will meet the people who are vibrating at the higher level of purpose themselves. So that's where you'll meet the right relationships. That's where your Kundalini will get activated. Now, of course, to activate Kundalini, there are many yogic methods also. But what's the point of activating it artificially if it's not being used in the right direction? See, people who are committing crimes, passion crimes, or terrorism, don't you think so? They are also Kundalinis activated, but for the wrong reason, for the path of darkness, because they are also mind washed that that's their reality. So they also get very excited. So the idea is that your body doesn't know what's good and bad. It just sees, oh, I'm getting excited, and Kundalini gets activated, and boom, it goes in the wrong direction. So our work is the work of the light. So I want you to move in the direction of light. And when you find your purpose and start moving in that direction, this energy will get activated. You don't need very many methods. The excitement is nature's way to activate this energy. That's the clue that your mind will say, aha, she's now onto the path of her purpose. Entire kainat, entire universe, entire existence will take steps to support you, including your body. Body is the first one that will get excited. And so I wish you all the best to in the past life regression, and may God give you this sense of purpose. May your soul speak to you, and then you move in that direction and meet the right set of people. But I hope that even with these relationships, you learn the lessons that were important for you, which it seems you did. So all the best, and I'm looking forward to meet you on Sunday. Okay, Dhruti, one more question, or are we done for now? It's if it's getting too long, then you let
Last,
me.
one last question, and we'll close today with this question.
Okay.
Sumit is asking, what exactly is this workshop? I don't know. Can you please explain?
Ah, wonderful question too. So, Sumit, this is past life regression. It's a modality, very powerful modality to know, your purpose, things like what's missing in my life. Have you ever wondered? Have you ever felt that your life doesn't really make sense? Right, Sumit? And that there's a deeper reason behind your restlessness, behind your pain, behind your patterns, the relationship patterns or career, right? And this happens because of a concept that I called the deep disconnect, or the soul amnesia, as I like to call it. What happens is that we have forgotten who we really are, that we are a soul which has come here in to get a physical experience of a human being, and this soul will continue its journey. The body will be left behind just like it got created. But this soul is never born, never died, only here to get the experience, only visiting this planet, right? That's this work. So the reason, the answer to this, that why we do this work, is that the root cause of our pain and suffering doesn't always lie in this lifetime. Sometimes the root cause lies in our past lives. So that's our work. On Sunday, when we meet, we will go through a real past life regression and not just theory. We'll get into the actual modality. So you'll get a taste of it and understanding of it. Okay, so that's this work. So I hope this answers your question, and I'll see you on Sunday, Sumit.
Yes, and this answered the same question for Sheetal, Pavi, Kaveri, Sangeeta, and Abe. So I hope you guys are clear on what past life regression really is.
That's wonderful, Dhruti. And thank you, Dhruti, for so quickly mining through all the questions. It's just thank you so much. And for all of you whose questions we couldn't get to, there were hundreds of questions. Just expect me to start answering some of them from tomorrow. And if even if then some are left, don't worry. We'll meet on Sunday. And once we are done with the regression, I'll stay back and answer more questions. So thank you, all of you. And Dhruti, is there anything else we need to talk
No, I
about?
think we're good for tonight.
So tonight is Thursday, 2 more days.
Yes.
Um, uh, Friends, thank you for asking these questions. It'll be an honor to meet all of you. Just make sure that come on time. We tend to get overbooked, and Zoom has allows only so many people in a session. It's not unlimited, as most of you probably know. So come on time. We start dot on time at 11 a.m. on Sunday. So I don't want you to miss it. So try to come. Dhruti, do we open the Zoom room a few minutes earlier? So,
Yeah, close to 10:45.
oh, 15 minutes earlier. So good, great. So we'll open the room. So just come as soon as the room opens, 15 minutes before. Grab your seats and just wait so that you don't miss this session. And we'll meet. We'll go through the past life regression. And I'm really looking forward, Dhruti, to meeting everybody. So thank you for asking me all these questions. Thank you for submitting all these questions. And I'll see you guys on Sunday.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and we can't wait to host you on Sunday.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone. Good night.